Hello. Well, this is going to be a slightly different format from the usual, and for the following reasons. First of all, I have my mobile phone rigged up on the cradle I usually keep my iPad, and that's the reason for the slightly odd angle. And the reason for that is because I'm not working in my attic, and the reason for that is it's unbearably hot in there, even with all the windows open. I'm even a little worried about actually turning the computer on in that sort of heat. Now, the standard thing to shriek in a situation like this is climate change. Oh, climate change. Well, that's what a lot of activists and politicians might be doing, but I'm neither an activist or a politician, so I'm not going to do that. The reason for me not being able to work in my attic is stupidity, laziness. Sorry, I nearly got a phone call there. Stupidity, laziness and a lack of forward planning. To wit, it's my own bloody fault. Realising how unpleasant that room was getting a few days ago, I went out to an electricity supply place called Curry's, seeking an air conditioner. And of course, they were all sold out. Now, where's the fault in that? I knew I was working in an attic. It isn't as if it's the first time that it's got a bit overheated. Why didn't I have an air conditioner in there already, you may ask? That's because it takes up space, and I didn't want to give it the room. Also, it costs money, and I thought, well, I'll only be using it a couple of weeks in the year, so why should I bother? And then I'd have had to actually go out and buy the damn thing as well. So I never got round to it, and here I am trying to make a video on my mobile phone. Now, let's get on to this horrible, terrible, well, the dreadful, appalling events in Germany. There have been catastrophic floods. People have died. The photographs look like something from a third world level of disaster, and that's because the amount of money the German government have been putting into flood defences has been, well, just that. Third world. They've prioritised industry and economic expansion and probably mad EU targets, and by the time they finished with that, there wasn't enough money left over to worry about diverting rivers in the event that once every 10 years or so there'd be a bit more water than they could handle. Yeah, you see, the people want that road that they use every day. They want that hospital. They want that park. They use these things all the time. They notice when they're missing. So when the budgets are divided out, why would any politician who wanted to be re-elected, why would he, or indeed she, spend the money on a flood barrier or a diversion canal that not only stands a good chance of not being used until well after he or she has left office, but if it works, I'm sorry, people keep phoning me. It happens to be my birthday today. Well, what a way to spend a birthday. OK, if it works, if these flood defences work properly, they wouldn't even be noticed. So the flood defences don't get built. And I just read this morning that there have been terrible floods in China. Same thing. But over there, of course, they build to a standard that's actually dangerous to life. They don't plan properly. They don't use cement that maintains its integrity, and then lives get turned upside down and people die, and they say, oh, this is the worst rain for 1,000 years, which of course is nonsense. And it's not just Germany, of course, here in the UK, because politicians have to provide housing, and there's nothing like a nice flat piece of unoccupied land as a good spot to slam down a building estate. Well, a floodplain is as good a place as any. The fact that every 20 years or so the local river goes rogue, well, that administration will be long gone with any luck, and they can leave the responsibility for the clean-up to the next lot. And then they can all chorus, oh, climate change to each other, which of course takes the blame off their own shoulders. And that is the top and bottom of it. And that is my fault as well. Yeah, human nature, mates. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Grannyopteryx design or Grambo. with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.grannyopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.